Yes, my name is Kuldeep Singh Randhawa. I've now made a number of videos which are embedded onto the website www.realrandhawa.com. This video is concerning a legal doctrine that is constantly abused by many lawyers. It's called res judicata or functus officio. Both of these interrelated doctrines are basically saying that the function of the court has been dealt with, a hearing has taken place, and that there is no really a point of reconsidering the matter. And these arguments are constantly made under abuse in an appeal. The reason why appeal is made, for example, in the Court of Appeal, is essentially to say that the judge has erred. Either it's an error of law or an error of fact. The doctrine of res judicata and functus officio does not apply in those situations, even if it's an appeal in the Supreme Court. The judge can be asked to reconsider the evidence again, but only if that judge is not biased. Where a judge is biased, I think the matter has to be heard before a special panel of 3 judges or justices from another province, or even a single judge where that person is honorable. A special referee can be considered. But what often happens is, when a person is not represented by a lawyer because a lawyer's walked away from you, you are deprived of a service that I'm entitled to. I've had situations where lawyers were paid to defend me and they walked away after making all sorts of promises, even up to the extent that where one lawyer said that if she felt that there was something seriously wrong, she would file a complaint to the Law Society against the opposing lawyer. It's all a deception. And so the reason a person goes to an appeal is to really say that something improper, unlawful, and illegal has occurred in the lower court or by another judge. And this matter has to be reheard so that the abuse is removed and those people who have deceived the court should be held accountable. There's an application, for example, of contempt of court, which I have up until now not really made, but I shall be making a number of these applications against some lawyers who have clearly violated the law and committed crimes within the court. Deceiving the court is a crime. An officer of the court cannot deceive the courts. We have a situation here in some proceedings where the justices are knowingly aware that the lawyer is involved in a crime and would support that crime. And so these proceedings are termed as proceedings of crime. And so the doctrine of res judicata does not apply, but it's constantly abused to say that the previous hearing was set and everything was done proper, and so the judgment can't be overturned. So that application of that doctrine should be banned by lawyers. And where it's not banned, a person can take precautions and write to the lawyer and say, are you going to be relying on a certain doctrine such as res judicata? Because if you are, tell me now so I can come prepared. I want people to be aware of this, that clearly I'm not a lawyer, but I'm someone who's been thrown in the deep end, and I've learnt a lot of things and practices which are improper within the court system. Only a victim can speak like this, the way I am. If I continued into the court system, I did so believing that the judges were honorable. I did so believing that officers of the court are behaving like officers of the court. Because in being a professional myself, I extended professional courtesy to a lot of lawyers, and that has been my biggest mistake. I want people out there to be fully aware that you're going into a hostile court, and it's not a court of law, it's a court of lunatics as far as I'm concerned. Because when they don't even understand the basic process that a lawyer cannot deceive the court, that matter has to be dealt with immediately. file a complaint to the Law Society. Even if the Law Society is not going to investigate it, file it again. And then if they don't investigate that matter, take it to the next level up. Go public with this thing. That's how the system is going to change. At the present time, a lot of the people, Canadians out there, think we have a legal system when clearly we do not. So this is sufficient enough for me to bring closure to this particular video on res judicata. And if there are people out there who have had their applications dismissed, victims, you can contact me. Because I think a number of these cases which have been dismissed, they were not decided under due process of law. They were decided by people who really should have been investigated a long time ago, and lawyers should be paying from the insurance fund, because each time they do this, now clearly that's going to be a problem for the insurance fund, but really that's the problem that we don't have to care about, because we're not the one who are going to be paying for that. Why should we remain silent when the lawyers continue to abuse the laws? I think the government eventually will create a large fund and pay compensations to all those people who were incorrectly tagged as being vexatious, and all those cases which were dismissed 10 years ago even can be reopened up with damages. This is how the system is going to change, when those people are fined, jailed, or removed. So I think I've said enough about res judicata. Keep in touch. Thank you.